If you have immigrant parents and your goal in life is to climb the corporate ladder, you should be ashamed of yourself. Your parents got here and worked hard as fuck just for you to suck up to a white man? That's gay, bro. What are you doing in life? If you're working a 9 to 5 out of college, I get that. That's cool. But if that's your ultimate goal, to become CEO of some Fortune 500 company, then you're just wasting your time and your life. Especially in today's day and age where it's become easier than ever to just make your own money, be your own boss, and run your own business. Even if it's a small business, you could probably get further with that than if you were to just work a 9 to 5. It takes longer time, but it's also a lot more worth it in the end than working a 9 to 5 for the rest of your life. 9 to 5 is just something for someone that doesn't have any capital to open up a business. If that's the situation that you're in and you're trying to open up a business where you need a lot of capital, then sure, you could work a 9 to 5. That would be helpful, but only do that for a few years. If you're in it for the long game, then you're already losing in life. I really don't see the benefit in working a 9 to 5. I remember that when I did start working a 9 to 5 job for automotive company, and I didn't really know the concept of 401k. I was like new to it because I was living a completely different life than to normal people who would who dream of working in a big automotive company or a big tech company. Even as a kid, that was never my goal. That's a different video that I'll be talking on. But I remember I got in there and I got introduced to this 401k, and it's all this thing of where you save 4% of your income and then additional 4% extra before taxes and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. But then the more I spoke to the people in the company, the more I realized like these guys think it's like a huge thing to have a good 401k and this stability of sort. And I was like, this is so stupid. Like, why would I depend on a company to give me money in the long run that I can invest in another company, or just even have that saved up when I can just rather spend my time to build my own business and do something on my own? Like, I just couldn't understand why people in their 40s and 50s are still working for that company. Especially if they're not like high up there with the CEO, or if they're not a manager. It just sounds so stupid to me. And then these guys are getting paid 6 figures, but like once you're making 6 figures for a few years, you have no reason to stay in that job. Besides if you're dumb as hell and you do not know how to make good life decisions. And honestly, I can tell that these people cannot take good decisions in life because of the amount of carbs they intake for their breakfast. Like, everybody has the same routine. They get up in the morning, they go grab a cup of coffee with a bagel or a donut, and they just fry their brains up with these carbs, and then they don't know how to work. And then I remember when I told like a few people that I would like be next to when I was working, that I don't eat breakfast because that just slows you down, and they're like, oh, okay. Oh shit, just flood over here. But yeah, the whole idea was so new to them. They couldn't understand why I do not eat breakfast, and I had to explain to them that when you eat breakfast, you're slowing yourself down, and you don't have the energy, you don't have the same drive as you would if you were working on an empty stomach. And yeah, they laughed at it because it was new to them. They couldn't understand it. I was like, alright, cool, whatever. If you choose to live the life of a peasant, then I can't really blame you because that's all you've done your entire life. But yeah. Anyways. these are the same people that work a 9 to 5, and then they hate their life and they don't understand what they can do to just get out of that rut. Like the same woman that I told this to, she would like just start crying randomly. This one day she just started crying and she kind of like crashed out, and I was like, "You okay?" And she was like, "I just don't know what I'm doing in my life, just working this job that's meaningless. I don't know what I can do to just like make my life better." And I'm like, "Well, what are you into?" And she was like, "I like doing art and drawing stuff." And I was like, "Okay, then just go on social media, build art, or push all your drawings, show people how you do that, and then you can make money off of that." And she was like, "Oh, I don't know about this. I have kids and this and that. I don't know. I can't manage your time." And I'm like, "Well, you gotta make time on the weekends, and if you're working here full time, then obviously you need to find a way to make ends meet." But that's a different topic. What I want to talk about today is what am I talking about? I feel like I'm just rambling. It's like I'm ranting right now. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna post this video or not because it's just all over the place. I didn't script this video at all. I just sat in my seat and decided to talk about this topic because it popped in my mind. I'm thinking about what to say next because I feel like I just made my point. I don't like to speak a lot just for no reason. Once I made my point, then my brain just goes blank. I don't know what else to talk about because I feel like you get the point. But the thing with YouTube is you gotta beat in the bush again and again. You just gotta like keep on talking for a certain amount of minutes for no reason. But I'm still new to this game, so I don't know how to do that. So bear with me here. Let's see. Oh yeah, we were talking about if your parents have come here and you're a first gen graduate, then working a 9 to 5 shouldn't be your end goal. Your end goal should be to have your own business, especially if you're someone that's Desi or Arab. More so Arab, I'd say. I grew up with Arabs, and I know one thing about Arabs, especially Lebanese, is that y'all are people with a business mindset. Like that's just natural to you guys, and that's what's natural to me as well. But it takes time for us to figure that out. Shit. Just at a curb. Anyways. It takes a minute for us to figure that out because of the educational system. We kind of have to suppress those feelings of sort, even if they pop up, because the way the educational system puts you in the loophole of these emotions of trying to pass these exams and one grade to the next, then the university, college, all that stuff. You just end up in this cycle of wanting to be with everybody else where they're going, and it becomes really hard for you to develop your own mindset. And you can't really do that if you're surrounded by people who want to go to university for the purpose of getting a stable job, right? That's how it is for most white people. They're used to this whole corporate stuff, and even they are trying to get out of this cycle and do something on their own, which that's really good. Proud of them for that. But if you're brown, then this should be natural to you. Especially if you're a Muslim, then you should know that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ was really pushed the idea of business. And that's something that a lot of people probably forget when they come here or when they go through the whole university thing. They forget that business has a lot more barakah in there as compared to a 9 to 5 job. But you can't really take the leap of faith until you take the leap of faith, because you feel like the more responsibilities I have, the more stability I need, but that's not true. Matter of fact, studies show that when you do get more responsibilities, you find ways to make ends meet in different ways. So let's say you're working a 9 to 5, but you get married and you know you need more money. But you also know that that job is not going to pay you as much as you need to get to that level of money where you can afford to get married or go on a honeymoon or have a baby. Then you're gonna find ways as to where you can make more money outside of your job, outside of your current income, and then you're gonna be able to hit that goal, right? But if you're doing business, then you already know that there is no end goal. You have to climb the ladder step by step, make little by little, but eventually you will succeed. And yeah, that only happens if you truly believe in yourself. If you truly believe in yourself and you know that you're here for the long game, and you're not here to make quick bucks like off crypto money or that stock bullshit. I never understood stocks, like why people invest in another company for the long-term strategy. That just seems like stupid to me. But to each their own. This is just a small video of me ranting about why I feel like if you come from immigrant parents, if you're a first-gen graduate, you should strive to have your own business in the future and not try to escape that slave mentality of working a 9 to 5 and climb the corporate ladder. I will make another video on this, going deeper into the topic. Right now I just don't have the time, and I cannot think of all the topics that I would want to go into because I'm kind of in a hurry right now. I have to go to Kroger and grab some peanut butter. You feel me? It's bulking season. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, consider hitting the like button and subscribing to the channel for more content ahead, and inshallah I'll see you in the next one.